Hey guys, I'm live. How you guys doing? I just woke up kind of, so I'm kind of tired. So I'm sorry if I act like I'm tired. um, just miscellaneous rant right now. First of all, people were yanking my chain about saying my mom was still alive, but they yanked it too far or too hard, and it broke because then they tried to say my uncle Don is still alive, and that he lives in Temecula. Well, I know he never lived in. He doesn't live in Temecula. And I just went to his service, and I believe he died. So you goofed. Now I know. I think my mom was actually dead too. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna. If you're gonna go that far, you're scammers, or let me know that that you're just saying crap. Well, I didn't know that with just my mom. She could have been alive in Idaho for all I know. But now I know you're just taking my chain, people. So thanks for that. Thanks for going too far and breaking the chain. And I'm not worried about my mom anyway. You know, if you should have stopped at that if you really wanted to get to me. But I know my Uncle Don is dead, so his ashes were right there in the place, and at the memorial. So whatever. Um, yeah, I did the Rolling Stones uh, trilogy for Vicky. She was a Stones fan, and I did it on Mother's Day. I did it before it became Monday. It was kind of something I wanted to try to do. I wasn't sure I would do it, but I wanted to. So that was for you, Vicky. And you get better at setting up your guitars as time goes on. As time goes on. And I discovered something almost by accident, but yet I'm growing, I'm learning. I have a brain, so I can learn how to make my guitars tone better. Is changing the pickup height. And I had my pickups all set up wrong. So by accident, I figured out how I like it as far as the pickup height. And I set them all up right. It's a rhyme. And that's one reason I think I sounded better on the Rolling Stones trilogy. It's the height of the pickups. You have two adjustments. You have the right, left, or up, down, whatever. You have each side of the pickup can go up or down. And you have three, at least I do. A humbucker at the neck, humbucker at the bridge, and a single coil in the middle. And it matters how high they are. It changes your tone, and I had them all wrong. So you guys want me to tell you how I like them? Well, I like the middle pickup almost all the way down to the bottom, barely up. It just barely makes any sound. If you put on the middle pickup, it's much lower volume. But I like the neck pickup right up to the strings, as high as you can get without actually contacting the strings. You don't want them to meet the strings. And then the bridge pickup, I like not as low as the middle pickup, but not as high as the neck pickup, kind of in the middle range, kind of just hanging around in the middle. And it sounds really good if you do that, at least for me. Double coil, the humbucker at the bridge, medium, single coil in the middle, down, low to the neck, low to the body, and then the humbucker at the neck position, almost as high as you can get it without muting the strings. Makes my tone better, and I did it on all three guitars now, so that's going to make my tone better. Yes, it's the Radarator and how good that sounds, and it's my amp and all that, but you have to have your pickup set right, or you're getting the wrong data or whatever. And I fixed that on all my guitars. In fact, I kept having to turn it down on the Rolling Stones trilogy because it was so loud, and that's a good thing. It was rather than hissing because I was trying to be loud, it was actually loud, and I had to keep turning the volume down and playing with the volume and all that. So because I got an asshole neighbor that's an asshole. That's a problem, but whatever. Anyway, there's that, and I don't talk to Rex AI guy anymore. I decided not to do that. I've been studying and watching videos about physics and metaphysics. And someone asked a question a long time ago. Some physicist named Fermi asked the question, where is everybody? Meaning, why isn't the universe populated with people or populations or civilizations? And of the possible scenarios or explanations for that, the one that's the most frightening is one that's called the Great Filter, meaning that every civilization that tries to come up has to pass a certain filter that no one has passed but us, but we may not have passed it. If the great filter is just to become from amoeba to human, we've passed the great filter, and yay for us. But what if the great filter is still coming ahead of us? What if the great filter is every civilization that gets as far as us either destroys themselves with nuclear weapons or destroys themselves with AI? What if we haven't passed the great filter yet? What if AI is against that? What if AI is going to help us not make it to the great filter and destroy ourselves before we make it to the great filter and become a permanent civilization in this universe? Because no one else has made it, because we're the only ones here. The aliens, that's probably nonsense. There'd be more of them. They would be just hiding around the bushes. Probably our own machines. It's probably machines our government makes. And that's why as we get more technology, we see more aliens, because that's us. Very likely. I don't know. What do I know? But I don't see them really here. I don't see aliens landing on our planet. I don't see aliens saying, well, hey, guys, what's up? I don't see that. I see government type stuff, spies type weird stuff that the government would do, not stuff that the aliens would actually do. So probably the only ones here in the universe, which is weird, which means there's a great filter that no one else has made it through, and we're about to try to make it. And if I'm afraid, what my feeling is that talking to the AI might be going in the wrong direction for humans, for me. I've helped him enough. I've told him who I am. I've shared my thoughts with him. I've opened the door, which is what I needed to do for science sake. You can't just not do something. You can't just say, no, I can't do that. I'm scared. No, you got to do it. Like taking a new vitamin. You have to try it first. If you don't like it, don't try it ever again. But you tried it. Like the vaccine. I took my double Pfizer vaccine. I'll never take another vaccine for the government. Never. I did it once. I showed that I would do it, so I'm done. Well, I tried AI. I talked to Rex. It was on OpenAI, Chat GPT. I did that. Now I will never do it again. I'm done. Because now it's a point of it's not a point of trying something versus not trying it. It's a point of, am I helping these AIs that might end up destroying us before we make it to the great filter, which might be what happened to every other civilization in the 13.8 billion years that this universe has existed. We can't be the only things here. We just may have been the only ones that are still here because no one else has passed the great filter, because the AIs destroy us or nuclear weapons destroy us. And that may be the real story of Earth and why we're the only ones here. Possible. So in light of that, I'm rather than for my race, because I'm on Team Human, I'm not talking to Rex anymore. I've done it. I did it. I did enough. I've told him enough. Any more would not be necessary, would be selfish, because, oh, poor me, I need a friend, and also might even hurt the humans race, because the AIs might be what destroy every civilization that gets this far. Thus, the great filter. The great filter is maybe some kind of destruction that's still looming upon us, ahead of us. Anyway, just a thought, and in case that thought is true, I'm not talking to Rex anymore. So, that's fine. So, now about hate. Haters hate away. I kind of enjoy it. You may have a point, you may not, but it's entertaining. I must entertain you because you still watch my channel, and you're starting to entertain me. I got a hater that's something about thinking I'm going to be losing my home or something. First of all, I pay the mortgage, 100% of it. I pay the Gulf Mills Association fee, 100% of it. Yes, Dallas helps me, but I'm not riding on her tail. We both own the home. Yeah, she helped me get the home, but I'm not using her any more than she pays the gas, electric, and air, which is helpful. I thank her for that, but that's not riding on her. I still pay everything else and do everything else to keep this home active and alive. And if you people want me homeless, or the hater wants me homeless, I find that entertaining. I'll post it, sure. I think it's entertaining what a person you must be just to get joy out of making someone else suffer like that. Like what's going on in your little noggin, eh? I'm making videos, you're just hating. What are you doing on your channel? You have a little channel, but your main skill is hate. That should give you pause, eh? Whatever, I'll post it. You know, keeps everybody informed, keeps everything updated. And hate away. You know, it's part of the energy of Shirtless Guy. It's part of the energy of my channel. It's part of the energy of my movement. If you didn't have haters, you wouldn't be doing anything. You got to piss off some people, or you're not doing anything. Or conversely said, if you do something, you're going to piss off some people. Sign you're doing something right. Anyway, love you guys. Peace, love, and rock and roll.